friends. Hello, friends. Hi, friends. Hello, hello, hello. So, welcome back. I know it's been a minute since I uploaded. YouTube is so interesting how you can just come back. But, hi. I hope you're all doing well. Happy holidays. Yeah. Happy holidays. I love this time of the year. My favorite Christmas movie so far that I've watched many times is all the Santa Clauses. So Santa Claus 1, Santa Claus 2, Escape Clause, Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause. Oh yeah. Wait, was it the Escape Clause? Santa Claus 2, the Mrs. Claus, or you know what I mean, with Jack Frost. But I've watched the Christmas Carol animation with Jim Carrey. It's gotta be my favorite. But I wanted to read you guys a chapter. I feel like I'm not talking right. Read you guys a chapter. I heard if you breathe and then you let out a sigh, that's your real voice. So let me see if I can do it right now. That's my voice. This feels comfortable. Okay, sorry. So, I want to read today 101 essays, 101 essays that will change the way you think. I've been wanting to read this book for a really long time. It's been on my Amazon wish list for a long time. So I have this book, and I also have this book here, Atomic Habits. I just really want to change, you know? Like, I know I'm the only one who's able to change. I'm the person who has to be the one to do the changing. But I just want some help, you know? Never hurts to ask for help. That's what I've learned. Okay. But sit back, relax, and listen. Listen, my daydreamers. Welcome back to my dream. Welcome back. Okay. I wonder if I can hold it while I talk. By the way, do you like my hair? Do you like it? It's not combed out right now. Well, I was like, let me be authentic, you know? But it also doesn't hurt to comb your hair. I've had it up since I got home from work this morning. Don't judge me. But it's okay if you judge me, because no one cares. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Not really. Okay. So, chapter 1. The subconscious behaviors that are keeping you from having the life you want. Okay. Let me see. Every generation has a monoculture of sorts, a governing pattern of systems. A governing pattern or system of beliefs that people unconsciously accept as the truth. It's easy to identify the monoculture of Germany in the 1930s or America in 1776. Oh, my eyelid. It's clear what people at those times in those places accepted to be good or true, even when in reality that was certainly not always the case. The objectivity required to see the effects of present monoculture is very difficult to develop. Once you have so deeply accepted an idea as truth, it doesn't register as cultural or subjective anymore. So much of our inner turmoil is the result of conducting a life we don't inherently desire only because we have accepted an inner narrative of normal or ideal without ever realizing the fundamentals of any given monoculture tend to surround what we should be living for: nation, religion, self, etc. And there are a number of ways in which our current system has us shooting ourselves in the foot as we try to step forward. Here, 8 of the most pervasive. Okay, so we're going to go through 8 steps. So, number 1, you believe that creating your best life is a matter of deciding what you want and then going after it. But in reality, you are psychologically incapable of being able to predict what will make you happy. Your brain can only perceive what it's known, so when you choose what you want for the future, you're actually just recreating a solution or an ideal of the past. When things don't work out the way you want them to, you think you failed only because you didn't recreate something you perceived. Bless me, sorry. Oh, excuse me. Okay. When things don't work out the way you want them to, your brain can only perceive what it's known. So when you choose what you want for the future, you're actually just recreating a solution or an ideal of the past. When things don't work out the way you want them to, you think you failed only because you didn't recreate something you perceived as desirable. In reality, you created something better. In reality, you likely created something better, but foreign, and your brain misinterpreted it as bad because of that. Moral of the story: living in the moment isn't a lofty ideal reserved for the zen and delighted. It's the only way to live a life that isn't filtrated with illusions. It's the only thing your brain can actually comprehend. Number 2, you extrapolate. You extrapolate the present moment because you believe that success is somewhere you arrive. So you are constantly trying to take a snapshot of your life and see if you can be happy yet. You convince yourself that any given moment is representative of your life as a whole because you're wired to believe that success is somewhere we get to when goals are accomplished and things are completed. We're constantly measuring our present moments by how finished they are, how good the story sounds, how someone else would judge the elevator speech. We find ourselves thinking, is this all there is? Because we forget that everything is transitory and no one single instance can summarize the whole. This is nowhere to arrive to. The only thing you're rushing toward is death. Accomplishing goals is not success. How much you expand is the process. How much you expand in the process. Number 3. You assume that when it comes to following your gut instincts, happiness is good and fear and pain are bad. When you consider doing something that you truly love and are interested in, you are going to feel an influx of fear and pain mostly because it will involve being vulnerable. Bad feelings should not always be interpreted as deterrent. They are also indicators that you are doing something frightening and worthwhile. while wanting to do something would make you feel indifferent about it. Fear equals interest. It's interesting. Number 4, you needlessly create problems and crises in your life because you're afraid of actually living. The pattern of unnecessarily creating crises in your life is actually an avoidance technique. It distracts you from actually having to be vulnerable or held accountable for whatever it is you're afraid of. You're never upset for the reason you think you are. At the core of your desire to create a problem is simply of the fear of being who you are and living the life you want. Number 5, you think that to change your beliefs, you have to adopt a new line of thinking, rather than seeking experiences that make that thinking self-evident. A belief is what you know to be true because experience has made it evident to you. If you want to change your life, change your beliefs. If you want to change your beliefs, go out and have experiences that make them feel real, that make them real to you, not the opposite way around. Jeez. Number 6, you think problems are roadblocks to achieving what you want, when in reality, they are pathways. Marcus Aurelius sums this up well. The impediment to action advances action. That stands in the way because the way, simply running into a problem, forces you to take action to resolve it. That action inevitably leads you to think differently, behave differently, and choose differently. The problem becomes a catalyst for you to actualize the life you always wanted. It pushes you from your comfort zone. That's all. 7, you think your past defines you, and worse, you think that it is an unchangeable reality, when really, your perception of it changes as you do. Because experience is always multidimensional, there are a variety of memories, experiences, feelings, gifts you can choose to recall, and what you choose is indicative of your present state of mind. So many people get caught up in the allowing the past to define them or haunt them, simply because they have not evolved to the place of seeing how the past did not prevent them from achieving the life they want. It facilitated it. This doesn't mean to disregard or gloss over painful or traumatic events, but simply to be able to recall them with acceptance and to be able to place them in the storyline of your personal evolution. Number 8, you try to change other people, situations, and things, or you just complain, get upset about them, when anger equals self-recognition. Most negative emotional reactions are you identifying a disassociated aspect of yourself. Your shadow selves are the parts of you that at some point you were conditioned to believe were not okay. So you suppress them and have done everything in your power not to acknowledge them. You don't actually dislike these parts of yourself, though. So when you see somebody else displaying one of these traits, it's infuriating. Not because you inherently dislike it, but because you have to fight your desire to fully integrate it into your whole consciousness. Things you love about yourselves, things you love about others are the things you love about yourself. The things you hate about others are the things you cannot see in yourself. Let's see it of number 8. Chapter 2. I'm going to just read the first chapter for now. That was interesting though. Let's see if we can review it. You believe that creating your life is a matter of deciding what you want and then going after it. But in reality, you are psychologically incapable of being able to predict what will make you happy. Isn't that the truth, man? Like, so I've been out of high school for about 5 years now, and I have not had the feeling of being, what's the word? It's related to safe, positive, strong, feeling strongly in what I'm doing, job-wise. Because there's just this, like, program in my head that I need to find a job to, live, which is true. But how many people are out here living the life they want because they didn't do what they were supposed to do? It's like an inside thing, It's like you gotta know who you are, know what you love, know what makes you happy first. How will I know if being a nurse will make me happy? Is there one thing, do you guys believe that there is one thing in this world that'll make you happy, job-wise? Like, do you believe that there's one job in this world that'll make me happy? That's what it is about living here. Nothing's, like, in stone, Sure, getting a job, going to college, getting a job, working till you're 60 or 50 or 30 if you got a really good retirement plan. And maybe that is the way, but there's people who aren't using that tool or using that routine and living perfectly happy lives. So the question is, what makes you happy at the end of the day? Actually learning about yourself. I watched a really good podcast the other day with those two guys. I forget the name of I think it's Chill Coffee Podcast or First Coffee Podcast, Cool Coffee Podcast, something like that. And they had this doctor on there who went to Asia, and he was a straight A student in high school, and his future was bright, and then he went to college and he failed in every class, or he couldn't even get up in the morning to go to Spanish class. And he was like, I don't know why I can't go to class. I don't know why I'm flunking. I don't know why. And he was a gamer. And so his dad tried everything with him. And then his dad just said, we just gotta sit, God, we just have to send you off to Asia. Maybe you'll find yourself there, or you just need to go. And he went. He said that Asia taught him how to learn about himself, how to figure out who he was as a person. I thought that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because I feel like all over the past years that I've been working, I've had about 5 years, I've had about 5 jobs since I've been out of high school. And I've learned something different from each job, but I'm able to reflect on each job and realize, okay, this taught me this, and this taught me this, and working at a bowling alley, and working at a moving scam, and working at Olive Garden, and working in TSA, I didn't know who I was, what made me happy, and there was all these presumed ideals in my head that I found out were not real. And learning who I was as a person, and what do I love, what do I believe in, what do I feel when certain things happen. And studying yourself, going to college to learn who you are as a person. What are my desires? What do I love to do? What do I wake up to do? not do. I feel like I was going just to school to check a box, just to relax and get everything done that needs to get done. And I also learned that I have, so I'm a very big people pleaser. So, like all through school, I knew how I had to exert myself to care for other people's needs, you know? And I keep asking myself, where did that begin? Where did that start? My mom even said, like, even in, like, it was since I was, like, small, I was catering toward other people. Like a small thing. Like, I would go to the park, and I would meet this girl. We'd be best friends for the day. And I would go push her on a swing. And she'd be like, okay, push me again, push me again, push me again. I'm like, okay. Push her again. Push me again, push me again, push me again. Okay. And, I knew my mom was watching me. And I was like, okay, my turn. Well, I told her, okay, my turn. And she would go, oh, I have to go now. And, I know that's small, but that accumulated over time. And then I was in high school. I don't know how this began, but it's like, well, also, I'm a Army brat. So my dad was in the military all my life. And so I've lived 3 years everywhere I've lived since I was 2. And so moving and being in different environments and places, I know how to kind of blend in to be accepted. Because all I want to do is be accepted, I just want to have friends. I just want to just be accepted by people and not be an outsider. But it's always the thing. Like, I absolutely loved being in the my dad being in the military and loving what he provided for me and being able to go places. I went to Germany. I lived there for 3 years and I adored it. But being in school and not knowing what I, as a person, besides what I wanted to make other people feel how I wanted to feel, my needs, what I want. So, to come back around to what did it say? It said, you believe that creating your best life is a matter of deciding what you want, then going after it, but reality, psychologically and capably, or be able to predict what you will make you happy. So, that whole idea of picking a job and then I'll be happy is false. That's not right. How long is this? 20 minutes. Jeez. Okay. I'm gonna keep talking unless this is too long for you guys, but not picking something, but going through life. No, not even going through life, just being in the moment and just thinking, what moment this week, last year, last month made me the happiest of the year, and figuring out what that is and pursuing that. That's probably the strategy to make you happy, and being in the moment. That's what I would tell my younger self if I could. Don't care. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Don't worry about, because like at my job, I would force myself to say bye to every person, even if they didn't usually say bye to me or they didn't give the same energy back. I would make it my mission to get this person to like me. But for what? For what? Do I like me? Do I love me? Anyways, next tangent. To extrapolate the present moment, because you believe that success is somewhere you arrive. So you are constantly trying to take a snapshot of your life and see if you can be happy. So that's the same thing we're talking about. It's being in the now. Because what's that one book of Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural? Happiness isn't somewhere you arrive at, And even that podcast with that guy, he said that you'll never be happy if you're trying to, if you keep chasing your desires. Because once you do get that job, what now? Like in Soul, that guy was like, that was great. What now? Dolores was like, we come back tomorrow and do it all again. That's crazy. So knowing that now is probably so important. you assume that when it comes to following your gut and instincts, happiness is good and fear and pain is bad. So this one is very interesting to me because I never even thought of this, because I've gone through so much woo-woo stuff, because my mom was a Christian. We've been Christians all our lives, but once we moved to Germany, my mom, she decided that we're not Christians anymore and that we believe in something else. But it's not a God, it's us as human beings, what resides in us, what this world is. And so I believe, energy is God. We're all energy. We're all made of God. Trees, animals, grass, that's everything. Feeling is energy. Emotions are energy. Attention is energy. Focus. So when this says pain is bad and fear is bad, but it's really pointing you in the right direction. So that reminds me of your comfort zone. Moving out of your comfort zone to expand. And even there's another note, another step that it said that what did I just say? Expanding is the goal, not happiness. And so being able to expand as a person, can you accomplish your biggest fear? What would my biggest fear be right now? You know what would be my biggest fear? So I love people. I love people so much. That's why I realized in Olive Garden. I worked at Olive Garden. I was a server for a year, and I absolutely adored it. I absolutely loved it. Every day I loved it. Even, I had those tables that would, I cried one time because I was in my head. It's being out of your head is another thing, because your head and your heart are two different things. Being in your head is where all the thoughts are running rampant and it's controlling you. But once you come back to who you are, and we're all babies. We all came out from somewhere. We all are living. We're breathing. We're souls. So I forget where I am. It's crazy how I can get so sidetracked. But I love people. My biggest fear. So, I made so many friends, and and there's so many happy memories. But that's when I think that's when I come to the conclusion that I made masks over the years of moving so many times. And so I've learned to put on this mask for this duty station and this mask for this duty station. And I realized that my parents took me back, that I was wearing a mask at Olive Garden. I was trying to be perfect and happy and not disagree with anybody. And I was scared to be me to the 100%. I saw that video of Frank Ocean, and he was like, I can be myself to the 1,000,000%. I was like, how real is that, to be you, fully be you? And my biggest fear would be to go out with my friends. Okay, I gotta go.